Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chantal Thomason, the Corporate Communications Manager at JUTC. I would like to welcome you to the JUTC press briefing. Today's briefing has been convened to provide an update on the ongoing investigation into the bus arsoning incident that occurred on May 30th, 2026. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge Mr. Owen Ellington, the Managing Director for JUTC, Mrs. Cherise Bruce Douglas, the General Manager at Crime Stop, Mr. Mark Dillon, or General Manager here at JUTC, Franchise Protection and Inspection, members of the JUTC management team, and members of the media, welcome. And now we will just jump right into the opening remarks by Mr. Owen Ellington, the Managing Director here at JUTC.
Thank you very much, Ms. Thompson. Good afternoon, everyone. I'll accept the protocols as they have been established for several reasons, not the least of which is that we are holding this brief press briefing in the midst of a World Cup match between Argentina and some other team. And I know that it must have taken great sacrifice from many of you to distract yourself from that very important game to be here today. So we are indeed grateful for your presence and attention. Jamaica Urban Transit Company has called this press briefing today because we believe the public has a very important role to play in helping us to resolve a matter which not only affects the JUTC, but the safety and security of members of the commuting public. Our mission is to provide safe, reliable transportation system for the people of Jamaica. And whenever that mission is threatened, we have a responsibility to act decisively and quickly. On May 30, 2026, one of our brand new Yutong CNG buses was deliberately set on fire in the Spanish town Lay-by and was completely destroyed. This was sometimes after 4 p.m. The loss of that bus represented an estimated replacement cost of US $200,000. But more than that, 55 seats plus 25 standing, which is 75 seats on any one trip in any one direction. And these buses do as many as 6 trips per day. So if you do the math, you can understand the displacement that this has created to the members of the commuting public. But worse than that, this bus was set ablaze in a crowded transportation center. This bus is powered by CNG, which is an explosive combustible element, and had any of the gas cylinders on that bus exploded in the crowded bus park on an afternoon, the impact would have been catastrophic. So we have to act quickly and, as I said before, decisively. Since the incident, the JUTC has been working closely with the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Fire Brigade to investigate this incident, to identify and to bring the individual responsible to justice. There was, for context, a previous incident some 2 years ago where a brand new Golden Dragon CNG-powered bus was set afire in the Halfway Tree Transportation Center. Luckily, on that occasion, swift action by the driver led to the fire being discovered and extinguished before it could result in total destruction of the bus. And luckily for both incidents, the buses were empty at the time. No passengers on board when they caught fire and burnt, and therefore no injury or loss of life was recorded. So today we are releasing surveillance footages of the person who we believe was responsible for setting the fire to the bus in Halfway Tree 2 years ago and the bus in Spanish Town, because on examination of the images captured on CCTV on board the buses, which have been retrieved by our technical experts, the individual appears to be one and the same person. So here's an individual who seems to be self-motivated or working in collaboration with others over a span of 2 years, has set fire to 2 brand new buses on both occasions in crowded areas with the potential for doing not just damage to the bus, but inflicting violence of a very impactful nature. The releases we are doing today are agreed to between us and the JCF because we have been working in collaboration with them, and we are assured that the footages to be shown to the public will not in any way compromise ongoing investigations. In support of public cooperation in identifying the individual and calling Crime Stop or the police, JUTC is offering a reward of $1 million. $1 million to any individual who can provide information that can assist the police in identifying, finding, and removing this individual from the streets before he gets a third opportunity to do damage to our buses and possibly worse. We are also asking all Jamaicans to review the images carefully and share any information that they have with Crime Stop by calling 311 or calling the nearest police station. Together, we can help to ensure that those who endanger public safety are held accountable. I thank you, and now I ask Mr. Mark Dillon, our General Manager for Security for the company, to bring some more details and to walk you through the images that are to be released. Thank you very much. I'll take questions after the end of the briefing.
And before Mr. Dillon comes up to give the security brief and the presentation of the surveillance, Mr. Ellington would have mentioned one of our key partners, which is the JCF. So I'd like to welcome Ms. Crystal Taylor, Detective Sergeant from JCF. Welcome and thank you for being here. Now we'll have Mr. Dillon, who will do the security briefing. Thereafter, we'll bring back Mr. Ellington one more time to just give our remarks on the investigation and the presentation. Then we will take questions and answers from the media. Mr. Dillon?
Thank you, MD. All protocols observed. Good afternoon, members of the media. As General Manager in charge of franchise protection and inspection, I wish to provide some context regarding the investigation. Following the bus fire on May 30, 2026, the JUTC Franchise Protection and Inspection Department immediately collaborated with the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Fire Brigade. We secured and reviewed available surveillance footage and other investigative materials. Our onboard camera systems captured a male passenger boarding the bus in downtown Kingston at approximately 2:43 p.m. After paying his fare in cash, he traveled with the other passengers to Spanish Town. When the bus arrived at the Spanish Town lay-by and passengers exited the vehicle, the individual remained briefly on board. Surveillance footage shows him igniting an object. Then he quickly disembarked, and shortly thereafter, the vehicle became engulfed in flames. Subsequent investigative reviews conducted in collaboration with our law enforcement partners led to discovery of additional images from 2024, where a similar incident occurred at the Halfway Tree Transportation Center. Based on these reviews, investigators believe the individual captured in those images is the same person responsible for our recent arson incident. The Commissioner of Police has assigned a dedicated task force to assist with the investigation, and significant efforts have been undertaken to identify the suspect. Despite those efforts, investigators have not yet been able to establish his identity. This is why public assistance is so important. We are asking members of the public to examine the images and footage carefully. Even seemingly minor information may prove valuable to investigators. For operational reasons, we cannot disclose all details of the investigation at this time. However, we can assure the public that every credible lead received will be assessed by our investigators. We also want to reassure our passengers that the JUTC continues to invest in security measures, surveillance technology, employee training, and collaboration with law enforcement agencies to safeguard our transportation network. We encourage anyone with information to contact the police, Crime Stop, or the JUTC Security Department. All information received will be handled confidentially. Thank you. And we'll look at the images at this time. I'll walk you through it. So this is an image of the individual, the suspect. This, I believe, was in 2024. You can skip. Next. All right. We can see certain features in terms of what this man is wearing. He's wearing a hat, and if you can go to the next image, we'll look at the uniform that he's wearing. That can identify. Okay. Well, this is in 2026, the recent incident that occurred. All right. You see that he's wearing the same hat. He has on the same strap bag. He's wearing a different jersey at this time. Next. Recycling through. All right. So this, there you go. So this is footage from the 2024 incident that occurred. We see the man, after he would have done his act, he is exiting the unit. This is in 2024 at the Halfway Tree Transportation Center. Luckily, one of our staff was able to see this happening, and they quickly responded and attempted to extinguish the flame, or the potential flame. All right. This is the recent incident. We see the individual boarding the bus. He paid his fare in cash, as I explained. And he is attempting to ignite an object at the rear right of the unit. And after he did that, he disembarked. He quickly left the scene. And thankfully, our onboard systems would have captured this. And here we see the fire igniting. And then this is the aftermath of such act by this individual. Has caused significant damage to the unit. Thankfully, no one was injured in this situation. And this is the aftermath here in the inside of the unit. And this is the end of the slide. Now we are asking that persons pay close attention to these images and footage so we can be able to assist the police in identifying this suspect. All right? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dillon. Now we'll invite the media to ask questions. No one here from the media would like to ask any questions? fine, no problem. Well, thank you all for attending today's press conference and for your continued interest in this matter. As just a reminder, we're appealing to the public to assist in this ongoing investigation. Just a reminder, you can call Crime Stop at 311. Here at JUTC, our commitment remains the same, to provide reliable transportation, and in doing that, we are appealing to the public to help us. Thank you for coming.